here at Fuji as we head onto the start-finish straight. Green flag is out. Diogo Pinto will try and cover the grid and go-car. Bit of contact there between Coanda. Oscar Pai tried to cut across, and he's knocked the lights off of the front end of that grid and go-car. There's a big slide there, and a big crash. It's Drago Racing who was sent round. He collects the vitality of Timo Kazmon, and I'm not accepting that as a commentator's curse. That was pretty sus.
Oh, that is a perfect example of the commentator's curse.
McCormack or Murdoch, who missed their braking point going into that hairpin. This is all of the calamity that happened on board with the U Amateurs car as they try and figure their way through. Thankfully, the car lighting the way as it's getting blocked and blocked and blocked. He does indeed say hello to the BS hybrid car, gets a smack on the back as well for good measure. Sven Haase as Darren McCormack back into third position. Will Murdoch very close. Whoa! Sven Haase just driven into the back of him. What a mistake from the grid and go car. I'm a little bit speechless. Just drove straight into the back of him.
It's normally swap train. It's normally the blue Falcon Sim Racing car there in the top six, not the teal one, as he is to the outside for Hoverson now into towards the braking zone of turn 10. It's going to be all the way around the outside, back to the inside. Oh, has to go steep. Hoverson has to avoid. Little bit silly, I think, there from Sven Haase, and that allows Matteo Blotto now to try and go through. But in all of that, Hoverson got ahead. So in the end, it doesn't really matter what happened, I suppose, there.
I think Hoverson probably will have a slowdown penalty from doing that, though, but
has not bothered whatsoever.
Here we go then, onto the start-finish straight. Strap yourselves in and get the drag race ready. Back out onto it. Team Redline lead, and here comes the snake. Here comes the trying to break the slipstream. Here comes the weaving in the darking. And we'll see what he can do as the light has fallen here at the Fuji Speedway. 0.2 of a second between Oscar Pai and Diogo Pinto. The gap's closing and closing and closing. But the victory will go the way of Team Redline. They are back on the podium. 8 podiums from 9 races and yet another victory.
Some night here at the home of British Motorsports, closing on the halfway distance in 2026. VCO Infinity once more. The green flag drops, and it's a much cleaner getaway compared to the first time we were here at Silverstone. Gustavo Ariel roars around the outside and rips the lead away.
The point, by the way, of no pit stops. We might only see pit stops in one of the combinations for these, because it might rain at Fuji as well. This is the off-board shot. Trying to figure out who that is hitting the Thirsty Forward car, but I can't quite at the moment. Just seemed to be a case of too many trying to go into one space there, really.
Down pit lane, which is what we did see the last time the Acuras went out on track, albeit that was in dry conditions at Okayama. They were just doing plenty of fuel saving.
Well, oh,
there.
Just as I was pausing there, heard Sean Campbell lifting in towards the final chicane, so there's definitely concerns around fuel.
I love the driver's eye view we get right now. This is cockpit cam. What you experience on iRacing if you join. And that is the whiteout that he was referencing on the race start, and that's just with one.
Goodness.
Remarkable. Oh, mistake! Oh. The Falcon car goes deep. Not a reaction there from Casper Ullmanen, but Fischer instantly on the radio. Minutes left to go. Ullmanen now contact with Fenalosa. Can Elvis Rankin make his move? But he's not quite Lewis Hamilton, not quite 3 wide.
Oh God, he's gone! He's gone into the back of Ullmanen, and he's in the wall, Elvis Rankin, and he's got to be careful rejoining. My goodness, that was a tight gap, and he's nearly been hit and spun again by Ullmanen. We'll have to see how bad the damage is.
Unfortunately for them, and Ewan in the final sector. They'll limp that car around now on the final lap. What's happened here as they work behind some traffic?
Oh no! A stopped car. Completely unsighted. Johan Royer had nowhere to go. He will, I mean, have a look at this. This is scary. Oh my God.
Days.
That is scary stuff. I mean, I say this quite often, but you're thankful it's sim racing in a moment like that.
Resuming the battle Lango reigns supreme as Gustavo Ariel Redline win once again in VCO Infinity.
And how important was that first lap, by the way? Campbell couldn't get back past him again ever since Ariel took the lead.
We continue to fly that flag here in VCO Infinity, an early green flag as well that will signify the start of the racing. And off and away we go with already a couple of cars scraping into the wall. But can we get through safely? No, they run into one another at the very tail end of the field, but we sweep our way onto the infield and look how dark it is.
Somebody was backwards there, right in front of the field, coming out of turn number 1. I hope everybody got past them, but I'd be amazed if they did.
Had a big issue as well. Fortunately, the car's okay. Rejoins in what will be 22nd behind the Capivara Racing team. There's more trouble in front of him. It was Alessandro Ottaviani in the Vitality Sim Racing. That bright yellow's hard to miss, even in the dark conditions. And drama once again for Redline, crabbing through the infield. Oh, and now a big gap splitting the top 4, who once again turn left and rejoin the banking. And with a big gap to those behind. Some light, Ewan, on what happens here, and the checkup's already started. Remember, technically the race has begun. Yeah. Alessandro Quintai goes around. Visceral Esports, they're playing pogo stick, and oh my goodness, 07 Racing speared into the Tatum ResTech machine, and I'm glad once again this is sim racing.
Yeah, we can say it again, because that was massive into the final corner there. I mean, look at this, 4 wide, 5 wide into the chicane as they get going here. And yeah, a bit unfortunate. But a very, very big crash through the final turn. Now, I'm absolutely sure there was somebody backwards in. Yeah, there was, out of turn 1. It was Falcon Sim Racing. Oh, and they weren't avoided by everybody.
All by himself? No, Commander Esports, that's where things go.
Oh, wow.
My goodness gracious me.
Well, I'm amazed, therefore, he's gotten away with it, in a sense. I know he's dropped down lots of positions, but when you think about it, the fact he's been up and over, he has actually got away with this. Oh, it's a slide there from who is driving? It's Bayron, isn't it? But driving for Commander at the moment.
Yes, sir.
And that has put Comright up and over.
Ewan, I'm going to cut you off because chaos through the final corner.
Oh, no.
And Redline have found the issues that Coanda were hoping for. Caruana's also got a meatball flag, though. And guess who started this race down in 17th position? But Alexander Spets is about to sweep through and take over the lead of the race.
Well, I mean, maybe we can enter this discussion in a moment, but I think Spets is in the form of his sim racing life at the moment, and he's about to take the lead of this race, spectacularly so. Sebastian Joe with very obvious damage. Caruana seemingly, as you say, got a meatball as well, but he's got much less obvious damage, and hence why he's been able to keep the lead for a little bit longer. See how much reaction time they would have had. I'm guessing not very much here. Well, so to be fair,
Caruana
a lot of other cars are... So, go on.
I think Caruana tries to check up, but as he does, he gets run over by Sebastian Job, who's completely blind to it all.
Well, yeah, but look how many cars had done it previously. Job was the first one in about a row of 6 who didn't see that and didn't slow down.
Likely to be settled on the run to the chicane or maybe into the final complex of corners. More drama as Blue Mercury Esports pick up a meatball on the final lap of this race. It is so easy to find yourself in trouble. Varga commits the long way around, and while they'll squabble on their run to the line, let's give Rainer Talvar his credit. 43 positions to the good, and winning here at the Charlotte Motor Speedway. Into the braking zone for the final time. Spetter's grabbing second. Matt Varga, Jaden Ladick giving each other a wide berth, and with the crossover, Varga into the wall, and Jaden Ladick will grab third. 4, ready to meet the halfway mark in 2026's VCO Infinity. Let's drop the green flag once again. Phil Denez has popped to the inside of David Toth in the fight for second, but Elvis Rankin around the outside of Thibaut Casabon has trouble in the background and includes Ricardo Ferreira, and that trouble continues, but it's outside of the top 20. TC Esports, the biggest of the losers, is now up towards the hairpin we go.
Communicating very regularly with his kind of teammates, maybe saying, I'm going to go for this down the inside of Casabon.
And Casabon doesn't really fight too much, but as they exit off the corner, almost 3 wide, Rankin now has to watch for Toth. It's a 5-car breakaway that's starting to build. Cooper Webster in the pack as well, so remember, Redline versus Coanda, not really minimizing or maximizing, I should say. Switching over to part 3, so just keep that in mind. Through the hairpin, there is some chopping and changing. Denez peels Casabon away from second, and now David Toth still vulnerable to Cooper Webster for Redline. Rankin breaking clear at the front of the field as we once again on the brakes in towards Redman. Series of switchback hairpins. Webster now tucked back in behind the Hungarian. Not close enough, I thought, on the exit of the corner, but Cooper Webster is there and throws the lunge. Rankin can't really defend too hard, aware that David Toth is half a second behind these two. And next time at the line, I make it maybe 5 laps, maybe 6 to go. And as Cooper Webster timed his opportunity and pounced when it counts.
Here we go. He's not got the best exit out of turn 4, it must be said. Into the hairpin. He's going to have a hard time getting through on David Toth. He had much better chance last time. He's going to have to dive. He's going to have to lunge to the inside. Oh. Contact made between Rankin and Toth, who is sent to the outside through turn 5.
And you've got to assume relatively simple for race control to judge that Rankin likely the aggressor, the one with the incident responsibility. Team that's won 3 of the previous 4 editions of the event on the ascendancy. A stumble in the previous race, but Cooper Webster puts Redline back on top, winning race 12 in the Radicals at Okayama, Ewan.
Yeah, and that's 3 of the last 4 races they've won, by the way. Their winning streak of 2 came to an end in the previous one with their worst finish of the race so far, but 3 in 4 races.